Hi, my name is Todd Taskey. I'm the host of the Second Bite podcast. My history. I spent my first 20 years as a financial planner. Built a small firm that we eventually sold to a group that actually went on to be acquired by Goldman Sachs. So I spent my first 20 years doing that. And then for the last 15 years, I've been an M&A advisor helping entrepreneurs do successful transactions in what a lot of people would consider to be the lower middle market. And that lower middle market is definitely our sweet spot, which is typically defined as companies between $1 million and $4 million of EBITDA. It has always been important to me, as it is to a lot of people, to have a sense of purpose in what it is that they do. And as a financial planner, I did have the opportunity to serve and work with entrepreneurs, and they were my favorite group of people to work with. And as a financial planner, it seems to be a much more common occupation. It's certainly much more restrictive, and there's a much longer period of time to realizing success, particularly if you're focused on retirement planning and wealth accumulation. And as an M&A advisor, there's a 3 to 12 month period of time where we are really the most important advisor in an entrepreneur's life. And that's an opportunity that we relish and we take, very seriously. So the way we view the world, there are two types of transactions. There's the exit transaction, where somebody has been building a business for 30 or 40 years. They don't want to do that anymore. They don't want to do anything anymore. And so they just want to go retire and sell their business for, whatever it's worth. Most of the transactions that we do are not exit transactions. We call them evolutionary transactions. And these are guys that have built a great business that is in that $1 to $3 million, $1 to $4 million EBITDA range. And the question for them is, what's the best path forward for my business? And oftentimes that is not continuing to be independent or going it alone, but it is to create an opportunity to become part of a larger company and a bigger story with more resources and more capability set, and to be able to take cash off the table at close. I would say the question I get most often is, how do you find the right buyer? And we work at finding the right buyer all the time. We've been working at finding the right buyer for the last 10 years. So when we meet a client, we don't start from scratch. We don't start from zero. We've got a network, if you will, that I think is pretty extensive. As I like to brag, we've got global reach from our headquarters here in Bethesda, Maryland, that thanks to LinkedIn and other resources, we're able to reach out to potential buyers, to private equity groups, to CEOs, literally across the globe. We did a transaction last year where our client is in Vancouver and we sold them to a private equity group in Poland. We did a transaction, a client in LA that we're selling to a group in Sweden. A couple of years ago, we sold a client in Florida to a group in Ireland. So you can have global reach quite easily in what is quickly becoming a global economy. And so finding the right buyer is just a matter of doing research and being able to think creatively. Almost all of our transactions have a second bite component to them. That's because we work mostly in the services business, number one. And number two, it's because what our clients desire. Our clients don't want to retire. They want to do something bigger, better, and more impactful. So a good back end to a transaction works out because the fit between buyer and seller in terms of needs and capabilities and shortfalls and all those things fit so well. And we have an expression in our practice that oftentimes you just need to find a better buyer. And if we're willing to do that work to find a better buyer, we wind up with a better transaction, because it's almost always about the post-close fit that makes our deal trophies over here as successful as they've been. Personal hobbies, other than working on the business, which I enjoy doing a great deal. We focus on fitness. I like to go to the gym. We read a lot, get to travel a lot, which I enjoy. Have two great daughters, Mackenzie, who's up in Boston, killing it for a Rapid 7. Samantha works in the sports media business for John Boy Media in New York City. Sharon and I have been married almost 30 years. Greatest accomplishment fitness-wise. Actually, you know what? I did a couple years ago what is known as the Rim to Rim. So that is running across the Grand Canyon from, in our case, it was from the South Rim to the North Rim. That was about a 10-hour journey that goes down about 6,000 feet and up about 8,000 feet. So that clearly my best physical accomplishment. I think part of our strength is our willingness to talk to just about anybody. If you want to learn more about doing transactions, the podcast hopefully will be helpful. I think you can learn a lot from people that have been through it, other entrepreneurs that understand their struggles, their surprises, their triumphs, all those type of things from hearing from them directly. That's why we want to do this podcast. If somebody listening would like to spend time one-on-one, that's easier today than it's ever been. You can reach out to us through the contact page on the website, and we'd be happy to chat.